Today we've got an interesting one, and it's gonna be something a little bit polarizing and a little bit, you guys might come for me in the comments. So it's one of those, but I'm talking specifically about the top 5 neighborhoods on Oahu you should avoid. And let me asterisk by saying this, of course, I'm not trying to steer anybody to make a decision. I think all of these communities have pros and cons. But today for this video, I thought it would be kind of fun to just kind of talk about some areas you might want to consider staying away from to focus on some better parts of the island, which we'll talk about at the end. To start this off, we're going to talk about Laie, which will pop up on a map here for you. But Laie is beautiful, right? It's home of the Brigham Young University. It's home of the Polynesian Cultural Center. It's got beaches. I mean, as you drive, it's beautiful, right? However, there's a big problem. It's very hard to get to. And so for that reason, I'm gonna say Laie is one of those you might want to avoid simply for that reason. I mean, we're talking an hour commute into town. If you go that way, if you're going through Haleiwa, you've got to deal with North Shore traffic, so it could be another hour that way. And it's just kind of a really remote, tucked away town. But for someone who is looking for a remote area where they want quiet, they want small town vibes, you might love Laie and Kahuku, right? However, for this purpose of this video, I'm gonna say probably not ideal for anyone that's commuting or needs to take their kids to a lot of activities. You're gonna have a little bit less opportunity on that side of the island. So let's roll into number 2, the 7-mile stretch of the North Shore. So hopping right over from Laie to the North Shore, obviously we have the 7-mile stretch, which is like Pipeline and all of those amazing beaches in Haleiwa. Amazing, right? We've got Pupukea, we've got Pipeline, we've got Haleiwa town, even Waialua, I would say, is included in this part of the neighborhood to avoid. And the reason being is just traffic. Like, everybody knows it. If you've lived here for more than a month, you've experienced some form of North Shore traffic when you go over there to experience as a tourist. Now imagine it as a local, of someone living there. This probably isn't ideal for your commute. You really gotta time your day around the traffic because it's just crawling with tourists most of the year. This includes your grocery store, is crawling with tourists most of the year, right? And real estate is one of the most expensive parts of the island because there just is so few homes and so much desired beachfront access. But the benefit is, if you do choose to live there, you have an amazing close-knit community. You have amazing real estate opportunities. Like, the lifestyle is so surfer, laid back, cool vibes, very healthy community, a lot of active lifestyles, a lot of access to really great foods and farms. It's a little bit country, so that's another vibe perk too. But again, just for the traffic reasons alone, I'm gonna say I'm not gonna recommend Haleiwa. Love the town, love the people, don't love the lifestyle when it comes to getting to the other parts of the island. Number 3 on my list is gonna be Nanakuli. Go Hawks! No, I'm just kidding. As far as Nanakuli goes, I mean, obviously I love my west side. I live there myself in the city of Waianae. However, Waianae is broken up into multiple parts. And so basically Vibe Valley, we've got Nanakuli, we've got Maili, we've got Waianae Valley, and we've got Makaha Valley. All of that is considered the Waianae coast. But for the purpose of this video, I'm not gonna recommend it, not because of the people, but because of the commute going in and out is not the best. And this goes for the rest of the coast, but I'm just gonna specifically talk about Nanakuli. It's just stop and go every single day. Going into Nanakuli starts about 3:30 after school gets out and goes until 6, 7 o'clock. We do have a contraflow lane that helps us get into the city at night. But one of the main problems with the west side is if anything happens on the road, you're one way in and one way out. So if you can imagine, when there's an accident like there was last week with the rain, someone had to hit a barricade. And so it closed off all of the outcoming traffic out of Waianae, and they had to use a lane from the incoming traffic. So we had one lane in, one lane out with 20,000 people trying to get in and out of the city. Insanity. So unless you're willing to live out there and work out there, I don't recommend it for that reason. And again, just if you're trying to go to town, it can be 2 hours plus. Another big con of the west side is going to be access to fresh foods. Unfortunately, we're an agriculture community, but we're actually a food desert by definition. We only have 3 grocery stores for the entire city, which just is not enough. And I find, unfortunately, a lot of our grocery stores, our produce is a little bit less fresh than even you can get in Kapolei 30 minutes away. It just isn't the same in the Waianae community. So for that reason, Nanakuli is on my list. Love the people. Don't love some of the things that come with living on the west side like that. My last one on the list is gonna be Kalihi. Which again, no offense to the people. I have friends in Kalihi, I love the people, but the area might not be the best suited for some of you who are looking to buy a home. Number one, condo-wise, it's really limited and it might not be the best suited for you. There's a lot of Section 8 housing in Kalihi. There's also low-income housing projects in Kalihi, which is one area. And then we have a lot of big monster homes that are multi-generational, really crowded streets with parking because you have 7, 8 people living in a home with 2 parking spots, so everyone's parking on the streets. It's pedestrian friendly in the sense of if you have grown up there, but not necessarily for someone who's moving to the community. It is close proximity to town because it's part of town, so it's really easy to get around. But again, just for that like overall neighborhood feel, it's gonna feel very hodgepodge where you've got a warehouse, and then you got a house, and then you got a restaurant, and then you got a house. It's just kind of like old school where it never really adapted to the times. It's very much stuck in what it originally was. So for that reason, Kalihi is on my list for one of the places you might not want to live in. But again, if you want to rebuttal me with any of these neighborhoods, I would love to hear it from you with the comments. Obviously, let's be kind to each other because like I said, I love the people for all these reasons. But for the purpose of this video, it's really to help give someone some guidance when they're looking to buy a home for their first time or they're moving to Hawaii for their job. Where should they live? Probably not in one of those 5 areas for the quality of life that they can offer compared to other areas. Now, to round this out, I will leave us on a high note, and I will say some of the best areas to live are going to be in the center of the island. And so specifically for my military friends or for someone who loves having a regular mainland style lifestyle where you're in the suburbs, the middle of the island is really great for that. So Mililani is up central and north, really convenient, all-American city, 1980, like amazing layout and development, super awesome area. Also Kapolei and Ewa Beach, very more modern, very much more used to what you're used to in the mainland where you have suburbs and different communities where everything's within 10 minutes. You got it. We got sports, we got all the activities for the kids, we got the dog parks, you name it. So for that reason, the center of the island is really where you're gonna stick to, and I call that the investment belt of Oahu. You're gonna have the most inventory as well and just the most opportunities. So that'll wrap up this video of the 5 places I would not recommend for you to buy in, and I'll see you guys next Friday with another video. Bye.